I know, right? We're starting the stream on time this day.
Pretty much.
Alright, I have to go do something for at least 20 minutes.
No, forbidden.
No!
Go take a shit.
Should be ready on time.
I made sure to get myself snack.
Oh, snacks.
Can I get this thing open?
No.
Without using my teeth on it?
Oh, it's so pretty.
I got the bleep bloops. Alright. Where we left off, the party had just embarked on another warp towards a planet that they were going to be studying. And, you know, there isn't a whole lot to do in warp, at least not on this ship. On other ships, they have a lot of things to do, but on this ship, a lot of that's automated. Because, you know, the captain used to be doing this solo.
Yeah.
It checks out.
So, what would everyone like to be doing after a sleep cycle?
Good question.
Well, I think Vivian, and I think she read up on how to install her gun modification already, didn't she?
I think they did, yeah.
Well, in that case, I think she probably review information on Zitrum's thingy with them, because you know, couldn't hurt to have more people know all about it.
Here's your facts. Gotta know about the thing that might get us, you know, unstabbed one day.
I'm
I
enjoying this
suppose,
music
yeah.
too.
I'm enjoying the music
Water.
as well, but I'm looking for something that's a little more subdued.
Got my Stellaris music on my computer, but I don't know if they let us share that.
That's definitely copywritten.
Yeah, well, I'm using entertainment purposes.
Well,
I've got something that is absolutely not more subdued than this, and it's probably copywritten too.
There are lots of things that are absolutely more in your face than this track, but this track is pretty banging, so...
Yeah, it's kind of like middle ground. It's not like super in your face, but it's not like a lazy river or anything.
It would make a good, I don't know, title screen menu music.
Yeah, it could.
Who just took a screenshot?
What do you
what they
mean?
did?
No
What
screenshots
screenshot?
allowed. I heard the sound.
What
Illegal?
screenshot?
I'm confused.
So am
I didn't realize you could do a screenshot in Discord.
It's not a Discord thing, it's a Windows thing. If you hit, I think it's F11, it takes a screenshot.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Or you could just hit the print screen.
It makes
that's
the
making noise.
capacitor charging sound of those throwaway cameras.
feature that I'm looking at over here that's making that noise.
You know what?
I don't know,
Textural drone in F major. Yeah.
This is very chill.
That is very drone.
I need seductive didgeridoo noises.
fucking, I tried to find a free didgeridoo instrument, and apparently they're like a super complex instrument for some reason, for like VSTs to handle.
Really? Oh, it's probably like it's probably one of those like 12 sounds interlaced on top of each other because, of course, somehow accidentally wooden tube and lip makes noise like that.
No, it's just because, like, how are you going to program an entire human mouth? Because that's what you have access to. You can just speak into a didgeridoo, and that's considered notes.
Oh God.
And then you can also hit the didgeridoo with like a stick, and depending on
Oh,
where
yeah.
you hit it, it changes the pitch. Or you can just slap it with your hand, or you can cup the hole like those pipe instruments.
That
You
is
can
both
do all
dumb
kinds
and
of stuff
amazing.
with one of those.
Yeah.
I never mastered the art of being able to do a continuous note through anything.
Now that's tricky.
'Cause basically, the trick behind it is, first of all, you're exhaling through it, and then you like take air in your mouth and play with that as you're inhaling, and then you repeat.
Yeah.
And I never mastered that.
That just sounds like a mouth cramp.
But that's kind of why they have the pulsing thing, is because the person is inhaling and exhaling while still playing the same note.
Mm-hmm. Fucking poor woodwind sections of orchestras whenever they get to a long note, though.
Those guys have to have barrel chests. Just from all the inhalation. Just, I will change the shape of my body for music.
I remember. I think we're getting a little off track, but
You
Oh,
I remember.
just
just a
absolutely.
bit.
And it's not my fault, so I don't want to hear it, motherfucker.
Because yes, it's his fault.
It's Vivian's fault this time.
Yeah,
Your
probably.
fault.
Bad cat.
Okay, so now that we have some ambient drone going on in the background, and you guys don't have to fight for attention over a banger of a song, Vivian is doing Vivian things. What's Raven up to?
I think Rabbit is going to go back to glide practice. Just basically the same spot, just trying to stay in air as long as he can. Because, might be useful. And also it's been.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. Oh, don't worry about what the gremlin's doing. Well, first off, he's gonna worry about testing the VI, and the simplest way you can think of it is smacking his own hand, and then ow. That'll work. If it doesn't work, just a hand injury, not like a bad one. Just one of those. Yeah. So basically, I think I just gave myself a bruise.
Alright. So the owl will get the VI's attention, and it will, pivot its sensor array towards your hand and you in general. Let's see here. Sorry. Huh.
Take your time.
Fucking.
Okay.
I slept for 12 hours. I shouldn't be sleepy. God damn.
But you are.
Why is sleeping exhausting?
Honestly, though, that's a good fucking question.
That's a amazing question you asked right there. Okay, so it's going to notice that you've got some light bruising, and since it hasn't been equipped with any of the supplies to deal with that, it will recommend that you put your hand in some cold water for a few minutes. Maybe apply some ice.
Thank you. Now we just have to give it grabbers. That's actually a good idea. I've actually been icing this sunburn, so, you know, that's appropriate.
Well, I think having reviewed a multitude of things, Vivian's going to... well, Raven is busy practicing flying, so she's going to ask Zitron about his past. And she's going to be like, so what's it like where you came from? Like,
Sad.
what sort of...
That pretty much sums it up, yeah. Sand.
Lots and lots of sand. Oh. Let's see. Hot, hence the sweat. Well, that's another thing, but the protectiveness of the sweat. There's not a lot of really massive cities. It's mostly tribes, but there are big cities, tourist spots. There's the pleasure palaces, which are their own thing, and they're most of the reason that the cities even get so big. And then there's the cast, which is its own problem and on all of its own. And that's a bit of a headache between that explaining the caste system. Like being born into a job, basically. It's not really the greatest. At least for some people.
She's going to nod a little bit. Yeah, I can kind of understand how that goes.
Yeah.
So, what about your family? That sort of thing.
Oh, I have a dad and 3 brothers.
She's going to nod a little bit more.
Yeah. I guess I've got like 2 moms, but 2 to 3 moms or something. I don't know if I could call them. I mean, what defines mom? The one that makes you, or the one that takes care of you? That's the real question. These are the questions that you answer. Can't get some of those.
I suppose that is a pretty good question. I suppose you could answer it a few different ways.
Yeah. Don't get a sister though. Well, not to my knowledge. I might have one on the way now. I don't know. I didn't have a sister when I was there. Had the brothers, the dad, the mom, whatever else it could be called. And yeah.
Let's see. Would Vivian know that his species doesn't normally come with hooves?
Mm,
Or
not,
would he have mentioned it? He may have mentioned it before.
I think Zitrun's mentioned it in passing before. Um, as for knowing that information prior to meeting them, I think you'd have to roll to see how much time you would have like actually spent on the extranet.
Let's see. So that would probably be a smarts check.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to update this thing when I was done with the last session. Oh well, I can do that when we're done with this one. Over here, random.org, smarts of 85, and do I have any? I don't have any bonuses. The only thing I have bonus to is perception. So 85.
That's a fail, but just barely. You, so you looked something up on their species a long time ago, and it's like that moment where you're trying to remember the name of something and it's just escaping you right now. So
Just gone.
yeah, you know you looked it up before. You know you memorized it for like a test or something, but then that information is just whoop, not here right now.
Just poof.
808.
Okay, so she
Information not
wouldn't
found.
make any particular comments on it, I think, unless specifically mentioned it around her. I think he mentioned it around other people, but not necessarily her. Ooh, spacey noises.
I have been periodically changing the key that the drone is playing in, yes.
Yeah, I noticed
We're gonna get through all of them, damn it.
it.
Someone could use this as an impromptu to see if they want to download this pack.
It's a sample.
It's a shitty sample if they're trying to take it from the video, though. We have
I
all
meant
these people talking
preview
over it.
kind of sample, not that kind. Oh, interesting. Oh yeah, she was gonna go clean up again, wasn't she? Or did she do that at the end?
I think you already showered last session.
Yeah, she showered and then she got sprayed. So then I think she was going to go in and get another shower. So
Oh.
I think that's going to happen pretty quickly. Otherwise, you're going to have a very horny cat for a while.
I didn't realize you hadn't showered that off yet. Go ahead and roll 1d12.
Okay, let's see. Tab over the right thing here.
I wonder. Oh man, I should put split hoof injuries in there at some point.
Ooh. What
Rot
about
hoof.
hoof separation as well? If you've seen that before, that should have made your skin crawl.
What'd you give it, Vivian?
I got a 6. So I assume I add that.
Yep, you'd
to
be
the-
adding
yeah.
that. As so far, since we haven't had a chance to like thoroughly test the system, there's no like resistance to it or anything.
Yeah. Unless you take like a specific skill or something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you probe me for questions. Why don't I probe you for questions? Oh.
That's
There you go. Very
unreasonable.
important. Did you finish the thought?
Well, all that stuff that you asked me, answer that. But for you, yeah, there you go.
Well, where I come from is also very hot, usually on fire.
Mm. Explains the
So,
nakedness.
there's a lot of blackened things. Plants are really unusual. They they, uh, they gain their energy in slightly different ways. But as for my family, it's just my parents and me. And so my parents were in law enforcement. They wanted me to choose a similar career, whether it be firefighting or medical response or law enforcement. And I kind of trained for each of them, and just, they just didn't seem to be quite the right fit for me. So I kind of ended up dropping out of each of them one at a time. So I have some training in each, but not the actual career.
Hmm. I was a warrior myself, so if it's any consolation, yeah, yeah.
So, how long were you a warrior?
I don't know. Like, I don't know, like, I'd have to say like a decade for humans. So
I suppose
yeah.
I suppose that makes sense.
Eh, officially for like, born into my family, it wasn't exactly like, you have the option to do this, or you could go do a lower cash job like carpentry. It's like, no, your congratulations. You were born. Here's a knife. Go kill that. Don't come back until you kill that. And if you die, then well, then we'll just make a new one and try again. And that's pretty much how it was. What happened to? Maybe that's why I don't have any sisters. Well, equality though, Go kill that. Both male and female alike die all the same in the desert. And the desert does not care what you choose to be. It only wants to consume you. And sometimes steal your things if you come across the right species of creature. But after the warrior period, I started doing a bunch of small odd jobs to get money. I had to do like, actual things to save up and then leave.
That's why I was traveling. Actually, I was kind of starting up a new life. I
Yeah.
was actually going to uh, interview, but yeah, that changed.
Yeah. I mean, wasn't really going anywhere. Just going away. Mm.
Honestly, it probably would have ended up as another dead end for me.
Ah, yes, dead ends. I'm used to those big old sand pits that don't go anywhere.
But who knows? This might be the right fit for me here.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Like the perfect fit for you. You can be the cat with a gun on your butt. Where else could you do that?
I have to admit that idea does amuse me.
It amuses me too. It's the thought of, mostly just the thought of writing anything that's not me into battle amuses me.
Yeah,
I have to,
as long as my fur is covered, then I think I'm probably all right for that.
yeah,
I'm very sharp.
it would make it very difficult just getting stabbed a bunch in the butt by sharp teeth fur. I mean, my scales are thick enough. I wouldn't really be bothered. It'd probably be a bunch of pinpricks, but I'll be okay.
The candy.
Yeah, they're soft, but they're surprisingly durable. Fish.
Hey Raven, go ahead and give me a dexterity check real quick.
Sure.
Surprise, bitch.
I know. 90.
Oof. Okay. So, one of the weights slips out of your claw grip, and that just throws all of your weight off. And, it's not so much weight that you immediately go into a spiral, but it's definitely more effort to stay aloft than is strictly necessary, and you end up falling short this time.
It's like we're turning left now.
Yep, left right into that wall.
Beach.
I can just see it too. It's just biff.
Gotta keep you on your toes,
True.
And just
Was this within sight of the other two?
I mean, there's a pretty big opening between the common area and the warp core, so whichever zone that you guys are in, I'm pretty sure you could see it, or at least hear it happen.
I think Vivian's going to go over and investigate when she finds Bird piled up on the floor, because it's probably inevitable.
oh yeah, Bird is absolutely just crumpled up in the corner, just.
She's gonna give him a hand to get back up.
Thank you.
Helping the verb up to the sounds of the Sony startup menu.
The PS2 startup.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I need a shield. Bird would give a slight flourish of his wingies and then kind of skitter off on towards the
Creation engine.
yes, thank you. The creation engine. I need a shield. Pokes the screen.
Several options are available.
One that would let me slide if I couldn't fly anymore, but it still was going forward.
0 options are available.
Material that is hard but light and does not abrade easily.
Hard, light, doesn't abrade easily.
Titanium.
No, that's heavy.
No,
Titanium is well. It's it's actually fairly light. And that's why they used it for airplanes back in the Cold War era.
It's just slightly annoying because paint and stuff does not stick to it.
It is a bitch nugget to machine.
The angry bitch nugget.
I saw this episode where they basically 3D printed Iron Man's suit out of titanium to test things like whether it could stop bullets and that sort of thing.
Hang on a second. They they printed with titanium?
They can 3D print with titanium.
It is an alloy.
Okay, well that's news to me.
Yeah, titanium is an alloy, so if you mixed it and then melted it, you could have pure titanium come out the nozzle. Instead of trying to melt titanium, because good luck.
Yeah, I
But
knew they
they're
were working on
like-
making like rocket engines and all that with the 3D printing technologies. I didn't realize we were that far ahead.
Yeah, there are titanium 3D printers.
And sometimes they use lasers.
But anyway, yeah, they printed it out. Paint doesn't stick to it or anything, so they couldn't really paint it. But they found out that it will stop bullets.
Oh, yeah. What is it? The
Gotta worry about when it does stop those bullets, the shrapnel goes straight for your neck. It's like,
the Russians actually use titanium in their body armor, and it's very thin. It's like a 16th to maybe
it's
3/8 of an inch.
just the thinnest thing, and just like poof, the bullet just shattered on impact and completely
Oh, yeah.
deflected.
And even if you do go through the titanium, you've eaten so much of the energy of the bullet that the Kevlar underneath eats the rest of it.
Yep.
It's really quite an amazing material. Extremely heat resistant on top of that.
Oh yeah, that's true. Also,
Wait a minute. They can paint theirs green.
really impressive material.
Oh, yeah.
Just it's just kind of a pain to work with.
Okay, well the captain doesn't have any titanium on their ship. The actual ship itself is made of a steel alloy.
Well, I would imagine that the ship's steel would have to be fairly abrasion resistant. So, well, how heavy is this stuff for like per
I'm sure there are
centimeter?
also like some hard plastics and stuff, but I'm not sure exactly how strong or light they would be.
I'm imagining they want something like what soap shoes do, but for like the chest.
Yeah, so if instead of just getting folded up in a pile on the ground in the corner, it just slides a few feet and then can get up and be like, yeah.
Drink. Be right back.
Okay.
Bug.
Let's see. Is this ship carrying any of that?
I'm just kind of picturing him using a shield as a toboggan.
Oh, yeah.
Basically.
Just, ooh, I know. How about, bronze would not work because it's super grippy if you try to slide on something that's a little bit tougher than it.
So the captain does have some petroleum extracts that could get turned into a hard plastic for your shield.
This would work. And plastics are if it's a durable kind of plastic, they can distribute to impact pretty well.
Yeah, the kind of plastic that doesn't biodegrade. The good shit.
The shit they made in the 50s.
Yeah, the shit that's still here.
Ooh, Bakelite! No, Bakelite is super brittle. Tough, though. Actually, no, Bakelite might not be a bad option. It have a cool look to it, too. It's a resin. Let's go with some impact and abrasion resistant plastic. And
Okay,
the form
well,
factor
I don't
will
know
be
about impact resistant, but you could have abrasion resistant plastic. Because if you're getting hit, it's gonna go through the plastic. It's not gonna dampen any sort of, blunt force.
Well, as to say, not brittle like a fucking piece of shitty plexiglass. It's not going to be the best for stopping ballistics, but maybe if a dickhead takes a swing at you with a stick or something, you can use it to not get your arms broken.
But basically, it's plastic that wouldn't break when it hits, but it's not like super soft or anything.
So you're basically printing out an oversized bike helmet.
But not a bike helmet.
But you'd still have to strap it on to your body like it was a bike helmet.
But bike helmets go on the head.
Right, but as a point of comparison, like for the shape and material qualities.
Yeah, more or less.
Okay. So, now do you want air holes so that your feathers don't get sweaty, and all messed up?
Bird, do not sweat.
Yeah, but they could still get all like ruffled up under it and everything.
That is true.
Keep things cooler in there.
Yeah, some like a small like air channels from top to bottom to allow for convective heat and air movement,
Alright.
like ribs.
Yeah, so basically, like holes that would go from the top down through it, and then just kind of make their way into the bottom, so that it's not like somebody throwing something gonna go right through the hole or anything.
Yeah, they run the length of the shield instead of through the shield.
Alright, so it's not too hard to print that out for you, and the actual chamber, as it's been doing very subtly up until this point, kind of expands a little bit to print it out for you.
Oh, hey.
It's got to fit Vivian in there, so of course it can expand.
I don't think Bird has seen it do this yet.
I think Vivian has because she's been in it.
It would be a
Like,
very cramped shower experience if it was person-sized and only person-sized.
Expand only fit.
Would have to shower Tor one side at a time.
She would at this point have gotten her shower, I'm sure.
By now, yes, probably. Ah, yes, the turtle will be interested in what you have printed. So they'll come over and take a look at it, kind of over your shoulder.
Bird would be kind of looking it over, like, okay, I can put the strap here. Why does it have to be those weird? Got those weird self-tensioning, self-binding strap things on it. Once you get a loop back through themselves and under the strap, you're trying to move and just. I don't think Raven has noticed them yet.
They'll draw your attention to themselves by unclipping one of the straps and clipping it to another section. I believe it goes like this.
Oh my! I hate these things. Thank you. He kind of fastens it to himself, does a little clip back behind the back and over the shoulder. There we go. Ah, now I just got to keep my head up if I hit the ground too hard.
And why would you be hitting the ground?
It has been a very long time since I've actually had to do any sort of sustained gliding. My wings are not as strong as they used to be. But my legs have gotten
see.
stronger.
Is that why you've been wrestling your way past the ducks? Trying to catch a draft, perhaps?
Maybe call it a. Oh, what is that? Call it a.
Practice?
Call it practice. Call it the genetic memory of trying to stay in the air.
Insect?
I can't remember. Point is, I'm not hitting the ground, and this is going to make it easier if I do, because I might not have hollow bones, but my bone density isn't awesome like your bone density. I hit the ground too hard and I die.
I think you might find it difficult to get your sky legs back once you're in normal space. You
Well,
probably already adjusted to it, but there is a subtle change in the way that you move when traveling in the same direction as a faster-than-light vehicle.
I never did good in the science side of education. I guess we'll have to see when it comes to it, because it's been a minute since I've had my feet on the old terra firma.
I do miss solid ground myself. I am looking forward to this expedition. By the way, where might the food hall be located? I'm having a bit of trouble recalling the configuration of this particular vessel.
Well, remember how I said the Terrans would have called it utilitarian? It's, there is no food hall. Like, there's places that we go to eat because it's more comfortable, but unless you have food on you, the creation engine right over there, that's where we get our food.
Oh, very well. Where are the toiletries and the shower facilities?
As far as showering, that's also the creation engine. This is really gross now that I think about it. I'm probably completely sanitary and everything, but this is a problem.
I see. What about the fuel storage?
I think that's. I know nothing about this ship.
Well, let's hope it's not also stored in the creation engine.
It probably isn't, but it wouldn't surprise me at this rate. I need to ask more questions. Between stealing watches and getting thrown in jail, I don't ask enough questions.
Careful you don't ask too many questions. That can also get you in trouble.
This whole nuanced social interaction thing, I don't know if I can do it for very long. Just go back to doing important things and running from pissed off Terran dignitaries. That was the life.
You must be very good at running if you managed to escape any Terrans you stole the belongings of.
Oh no, they got it back almost immediately. I just got lucky and didn't get murdered when they tried to come after me next. Well, better lucky than good, I suppose.
Sometimes luck is more important than skill, especially in nature. And they will go over to the screen and start tapping away at it.
Well, no, that's a fair point. Best of luck on the food thing. It's all clean, I would imagine. These things are like little micro machines and blah. I think we'll ask the captain some questions.
There's a little microwave-like ding, and out of the creation engine on a very presentable table is a nice big bowl of salad, because of course he got salad. And, you know, none of your food's ever been on a table. It's always been, like, on the floor. It's in a bowl and everything. Or, like, on a plate if it gets served on a plate. But, like, you never got a table.
I don't think the machine likes us very much.
Maybe he asked it for a table.
They will, in fact, take the table out of the machine along with their salad and produce a multi-tool from one of their, what is it, those floating rock-shaped metal bits. I don't really know how to describe them. They don't have a uniform shape. It's like, uh, it's like one of those triangular river stones, you know?
Yeah.
It's like not quite
Well,
a right triangle, and it's not flat.
it's. I guess you could just call it a digit.
I suppose it's sort of digit shaped. It sort of
Well, I know
contours
what you're
to,
talking about. It's like
yeah.
it's kind of.
Oh, I'm sorry. I went to go get a drink and my colon decided to evacuate.
Well then,
Oh, okay then.
Ugh,
G-
I'm back though.
welcome back. The
back.
the Twirtle was just asking basic information like where the mess hall is and the toiletries, and being informed that you guys get everything from the creation engine.
I mean, yeah, how we have to do everything because you know. Oh,
But anyways, they have produced a fork from the multi-tool that formed at the end of their digit, and they've begun eating their salad. Raven went to go ask the captain some questions. Vivian's here too.
awesome. Ugh. Okay. What's on the docket next? How my organs work. Check your little. Got his sprayer thing done. Got the VI hooked up. General test. Components you're gonna have to be bought elsewhere.
On the
Right.
docket next would probably be equipping the Medibot with any sort of tools that it might need.
Hey, this is my docket. I'll fucking deal with it. What I want.
Alright, fine. I'm just making suggestions.
That's already on the list, but can't do that while we're traveling, because ain't nobody that damn good at delivery.
Well, you know, there is one species that might be able to make that delivery, but
Okay. Probably actually get like some silver or something and fill in those damn traces he made.
That does make sense. I wonder if we have any.
silver? Oh, fuck yeah, it's like the best conductor. The captain's got tons of it for, like, in-field repairs.
I thought gold was the best conductor. What is this
Oh,
bullshit?
silver has a conductivity of 102%. I don't know where it gets the extra 2% of its charge from. It just pulls it out of the fucking ether.
Well, why don't we use silver? There's like more of it than gold. Isn't it easier to mine too?
Yeah, but the thing is, gold has better, like, actual physical properties compared to, like, silver.
Oh
And
yeah,
gold
silver's
is
kind of
pretty
crunchy, isn't it?
non-reactive also.
Yeah, silver kind of has this habit of turning into flakes under stress.
What if we did liquid silver?
You don't want to do that because electricity hates being warm.
Electricity likes it cold.
It likes it below absolute zero.
Well, I'm saying a silver amalgam that keeps itself liquid. Similar to potassium and
What, like leaded
I think.
silver? Yeah, we're not allowed to use that anymore. We use tin silver
Well,
now because people were getting too many brain injuries from soldering.
well, stop licking the liquids or the fucking solder. I don't know. It's very easy. The stupid people get what the stupid people get.
It's a real shame too,
Mad.
because if you've ever had the absolute pleasure of working with leaded solder, oh, it's so much easier.
It just kind of greases through where it needs to be. It just works.
It just goes where you want it to go, and you can use way lower temperatures. Whatever. Got health and safety standards now, ruining everything.
Instead of making it illegal, make people aware of it.
They did. And then they started selling tin solder, and I guess that works if you're a machine. But yes, the captain has lots of silver for, turning into spools of wire and, whenever he needs to
Thank you.
fix a trace.
Actively using.
Alright,
Thank you.
so
Mad.
you're filling those runes that you carved earlier, or what are you doing with it?
Yeah, it's gonna fill it in so it's ready to be used, safer later, without melting and or exploding. Or both.
Fair enough. It's going to be able to handle a pretty high charge now.
And then it'll be time to study all the runes that he copied down, both back into his little belongings that were once previously all over him.
Oh god, those. There's a lot of them. It might take you a while to study all that.
Well, he's gonna start filling the time.
It's a time passer for sure.
Certainly. I don't know if you're going to finish that by the time you get there.
Not expecting to.
Alright, well, we can expect Zitron to be doing that on the trip then. Raven, you said you wanted to ask the captain some questions?
Oh, just like general. Wait, where is this? Kind of a thing.
Right.
Because it didn't even occur to him to ask, wait, where do we keep the highly volatile fuel that keeps the ship moving?
Right. So you'd find the captain up at the pilot seat, just kind of leaning against the backrest that he has off to the side. Appears to be reading something on a tablet.
Well, he'd kind of walk in good distance off to the side so that it's not like, bird jump scare.
Fair.
But just like, hey, Cap, got a question for you.
Yeah,
Nothing, no.
yes?
Sorry, I was trying to be better at that.
No, it's fine. Quickly shut the pad off and set it to the side face down.
Captain was looking at porn.
Just kind of get the, huh. Yeah, sorry. Where do we keep the fuel? I just realized that, gotta be using some pretty nasty stuff to keep us moving. Is it near the food, for example?
Oh, let's see. The fuel rods for the injection chambers for the generators at the back of the ship are in the same room. The antimatter is stored near the front of the ship in one of the ore crates. The unordered quarks are stored actually closer to the back of the cargo hold, just so that, I know where they're at, and they have to be manually transported. And the warp crystal replacements are also in that same area. Those also need to be manually transported, but you need special tools for that. Vivian should be pretty familiar with where the fuel rods are if you want to ask them. They've only been sleeping in the engine room.
How is she not radioactive? Oh, okay. I
It,
guess
it's
some
got
species
shielding.
are tougher. Oh, yeah, no. That makes sense. You would think. He just kind of waves in. Thanks, Cap. Go back to your smut or whatever. My bad.
Hearts of Iron is hardly smut. I'll have you know, this book was elected for narration of the year, in fact.
Okay, well, either way, enjoy. He kind of scoot himself off. Cat!
Yeah. The hell are you yelling for?
Cat
I,
might have come to join us, but
oh,
Vivian's going to be like, you mean me? Okay. What do you need?
you, I'm not gonna lie, I literally forgot when I got down here. Never mind, carry on. Bird will, I'm gonna go do some stuff.
The captain will come over the intercom. Oh, thanks for reminding me, by the way. The fuel's getting kind of low in the engine room if you go ahead and replace the rods.
Is Vivian familiar with the process?
The captain would have showed them, like, once.
In that case, she's going to do. She's going to do it as she remembers, but very carefully. She does not want to cause any accidents or anything. Hi, kitty. You're so cute.
Okay,
Cat, why is
so
the air spicy?
so there's two sets of 6 rods on each engine block. The top set of 6 you can access from the landing at the top of the stairs before it turns to go towards the actual navigation area. And then the bottom set can be accessed from the level that you're on right now. All the fuel rods are stored at the back, and it's pretty easy to, you know, unlock a cell. You just press a button that's on the handle that you grab, and it won't turn until you press the button, and it's fully shut itself off. Then, once it's cooled itself, you can turn it and pull it out, slide it into an empty fuel holding structure. I forgot the actual word for it for some reason.
Receptacle.
Yeah, there you go. The fuel receptacle. And you can pull a refreshed one out and slide it into the empty chamber. And
Alright, that sounds pretty straightforward.
yeah, all in all, the whole process takes about 10 seconds, not 10 seconds, 10 minutes for each rod. So you're going to be there for a while.
Okay, well, she's going to do that. Just patiently and carefully.
Hmm.
Wouldn't do to damage any of them. I'm sure they're somewhat expensive.
Yeah. The captain has told you that you can speed up the process if you're at a dock and connected to another power source by just going to each of the buttons and hitting them, and then by the time you get back to the one that you started with, it's ready to be pulled out. But since you're in transit, it's going to take a little bit longer because you gotta wait for each individual rod one at a time.
Otherwise,
Yeah,
you just
basically,
lose
so
all
you don't
power.
run out of power.
Yeah, exactly. Don't power cycle during warp.
Good job.
Great, we're all one super person. It is not at all completely and painless. I hate all of this.
And, you know, Raven, if you were interested in where the fuel was stored and how to actually do all that, you could watch them.
Bird is learning.
Alright. Zitrun is working on runes. You guys work on that.
He will take a lunch break after.
Oh, alright. What you gonna have for lunch?
Good question.
But in reality, it wasn't a good question. It was simply a question.
What would he like? Let's see. From the list of his snacks. Ah, yes. Zitrun desires meat. Steak. A big one. That somehow is also stuffed with cheese.
Oh,
Cheesesteak sandwich.
Or just like a whole ass cheese steak.
Okay. I mean, yeah, the VI could do that. They could, like, prepare you some cooked steak with melted cheese in the middle.
He will accept this.
Alright, so once you have your steak witch, you gonna get any toppings on it? Are you gonna, I don't know, maybe put some sort of vegetables in there? Like, I don't know, onions or maybe a mushroom? Just one.
He will accept lettuce and fries.
Okay.
Sweet potato.
Sweet potato fries, crinkle cut, shoelace, curly,
Only curly.
seasoned or unseasoned?
Thoroughly
bitter
seasoned.
better.
Alright. Salted or no salt?
Oh, that's a good question. Nah, he doesn't need that much salt. Nah, but salt is good though, because it's a good chemical balance.
Lightly salted then?
Lightly salted.
Lightly salted, okay. Al dente or grease seasoned?
You always want it al dente.
Alright, so you're getting it extra crisp. Do you want that double fried or do you want that what standard?
Double fried fries are pretty good, I'm not gonna lie.
They are, especially when you put something else on top, the second layer.
Yep. Double fried fries with mashed potatoes and some hot sauce, a little bit of ranch, chives.
Double fried fries with my potato salad and my boiled russets and my potato chips and my vodka and I've made a whole ass meal out of potatoes.
Yeah, potatoes are so versatile. You know, boil them, mash them, put them in a stew.
Alright, so you got your stuffed steak with curly seasoned double fries and you said lettuce?
Lettuce. And some ranch and some chives.
Alright, iceberg, romaine,
Romaine.
romaine? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want the
Romaine.
steak served on a bed of lettuce or do you want it on the side?
Wrapped.
Raft, got it.
You're gonna trash that lettuce, aren't you?
Hey, you know, you gotta have something there to suck up all the juices. That cheese is gonna turn directly into oil.
Because it's romaine, it's good. Iceberg's horrible.
Alright. That looks like all the questions it has. So, you get your meal served up.
Oh man, food away.
Once you guys are done with the fuel rods, or I guess whenever Raven gets bored, what do you guys want to eat?
Well, I'm pretty sure Vivian wants mostly meat. She might go for some veggies or some plant type things from where she's from. I'm not sure exactly what you would call them.
Raven would just type in melon. Edible melon.
Oh,
Edible melon. Edible doesn't necessarily mean good. there's some melons in there that are absolutely vile because you only use a little bit of them in as a ingredient.
It's a fair point. Sweet edible melon.
So like a honeydew?
Honeydew, the cantaloupe, watermelon, just melon. Once then he can go
Melon.
stick his face inside of it, it'd be somewhat acceptable in a social situation.
I can just imagine him cutting a small hole, just big enough to stick his beak in and just, just hollowing it out from the inside.
I was, just as a side note on that, I was thinking about just going full of volley for Raven. Just have his face painted like, or colored like a, not painted, but colored like a Toko.
I'm not familiar with this species.
I will send you a picture. They are grade A gremlin.
I've gotten a volley. They're
Oh.
adorable.
Are
They
these
are.
like a furry species, or are these like real?
Oh, God, if they were real, we'd be adorable if they were real, but they're not real.
Yeah, they're
Why not?
one. I can show you mine. If not, open the new tab and find one. Here. Here. I'm gonna put it in ship posting for you.
All right.
There. But they're their own alien species. They're kind of avian.
They do
These things. They're real popular on VR chat.
extremely popular. They're adorable and small most of the time. Sometimes they're huge and it's slightly terrifying.
Yeah, but they're supposed to be small. Technically.
Sometimes they're extra feathery too. But that's a more standard pattern. Pattern of volley. Just something I was considering.
Technically, a volley are supposed to be like super, super cold. Otherwise, they die and melt.
And do good in the heat.
I mean,
But,
you can
something-
base your character off of any avian, just don't change him too much, because that's going to be hard for anyone to, like, animate consistently.
Yeah, no, I get that. That's why I guess leave that more for an after session convo. You know, work out the details.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, you don't have art of them yet, so I guess you could say they look like whatever you want them to look like, and then just at the end, you know, actually have a picture ready.
Yeah. Well, that'll be something to work on then.
Yeah. Okay, so you get yourself printed out a melon, and Vivian, the VI already knows you just want the crispy bits of the meat.
Well, it gotta have some nutrition to it, but she does like it fairly well crispy. I kind of imagine that like all the creatures on her planet are fairly fire resistant, so they wouldn't end up getting super crispy.
A lot of the species on her planet would have a lot of different ways to deal with the fire. Some of them burrow into the earth, because, I mean, you're not burning the dirt. Some of them climb up into trees and, like, jump really frickin' far. Um, some of them have, like, a natural powder that they produce that's, like, fire resistant. Some of them do something
Just
similar
natural
to.
fire extinguisher powder.
Yeah, exactly. Some of them do something similar to like what Citroon's body does, except it's like a liquid that makes them non-flammable. They use it in Hollywood for whenever they have to set someone on fire. It's this like
Oh
jelly
yeah,
that's
it's like
really
one of those
frickin'
things that
cold.
takes forever to get hot.
Yeah, like by the time they're done slathering you in it, you're begging them to set you on fire because you're freezing.
Very good at heat wicking. But God, any non-human species listening to us describe Hollywood, this place sounds like a fucking torture fest. Light people on fire for entertainment?
But
I'm on
Yeah.
board
basically,
with
they
that.
can light them on fire because it's so highly insulating that the heat just doesn't go through it.
Hmm.
It just takes forever for it to heat up, and by the time that it would heat up, they're done. They've put them out already.
Yep. Yeah, kind of like how Vivian's species works. All those hairs are the same kind of ceramic that they use for space shuttle shielding, and it just takes forever for the thermal energy to get through to it. And then, if you let up on the heat at all, it just immediately dissipates. So whenever they get into fire, all those hairs just lay flat and they become very sleek.
Yeah,
No.
so
That
basically,
reminds me,
if
how does
she's
that
looking
work?
fluffy, she's just letting the heat out. But if she's looking sleek, she's just kind of like heat shield mode.
Hmm.
So she can keep heat in or keep extra heat out.
Let's see. There's actually I guess you could call them an avian-like species, but it's more like if one of those desert lizards with the hood figured out that if they flip it around the other way, they could ride like the uh, rising currents from flames and
So
just float
basically, they
along.
a frilled lizard that uses it like a parachute.
Yeah, basically.
That would be
Figure.
adorable.
I'm remembering Frank from the Rescuers Down Under.
Oh,
Vivian's planet's really interesting. I hope you guys end up there at one point.
Yeah, mine's just a desert with bites.
there's a
Lot of
book
bites.
on yours.
There's actually 7.
There's several, yeah.
There's
There's
7.
there's several books on yours.
I don't know why the movies keep focusing on the first one. You'd think they'd continue.
Well, the Dune 2021. He didn't agree to do that unless they let him make 3 of them.
Oh, all right. So maybe we'll actually get some more story out of it then.
We will. And it's already confirmed that there will be 2 more. And they're all going to be about as long. And he's adamant with only making minor changes and time skips to try and give as much of Frank Herbert's Dune in one sitting as they can.
Yeah, I heard he's like a super fan of the original.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
a
he
good
fucking-
series.
It really is. Like, even if it wasn't like the original sci-fi series, Frank Herbert, when he wrote Dune, what he did is he basically took all the ideas that were there and really expounded upon. Like, he actually fleshed them the fuck out, and that's where we get like space feudalism is so popular because of fucking Dune. Fucking the decentralized governments and the fucking guerrilla factions in space. Dune. Weird unexplained aliens that charge you exorbitant amounts of money so you can watch their guys' heads explode to take you across the stars. Dune. I see a shitty film.
Dune 2019. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Wait a
And you
minute.
got those idiots that are like, we'll buy this and we'll own it.
Those are the kind of people that are gonna die in a plane crash because they think they own the rights to the plane. They never once flew it.
Do I own the rights to the plane?
And then you got, yeah. Before I get too off track,
God, we're good at this.
Yeah, but that's because we have personalities that click.
Well, to be fair, the only real good way to describe Zitroon's planet is it's Doom.
Dune. It's a little bit of Doom, too.
It's Doot.
yeah, I can kind of picture weird plants and stuff that are actually more like corals and that sort of thing, or like
Or
tube worms
cacti.
that actually use the heat of fire for energy or something, or the chemical byproducts in the smoke and that sort of thing as food.
Ah,
Mhm.
Jesus.
Ow.
It took me a second to get to it because it had to load.
That spooked me. You's a bitch.
I was actually trying to think the other day about why there's so many fires, and I eventually came to the conclusion that it's all the plant's fault, because fire is a great
Birds.
way to disperse seeds if they're really good at catching the drafts. So the plants
Yeah,
would
because they
secrete a
basically
very
get
flammable oil.
super powerful updraft from it and that sort of thing.
Hmm.
And so basically, maybe the plants secrete things that are flammable and sort of thing, and just kind of wait for a natural fire
Hmm.
to
Ooh.
disperse their seeds and stuff.
I could totally see some plants like using their roots to suck up a bunch of iron or other thing that can spark and directing it to specially designed like ganglia that when wind blows clack together and make sparks.
I can also
Ooh.
imagine ones that are kind of like earth plants, where they just build tension and all that sort of thing. And once it hits a certain point, it releases and just strikes two things together.
Ah, yeah.
Like that weird grass variant that just, yeets with a little curled frond.
Those are actually a kind of mustard.
Oh.
Yeah, those are mustard.
Well, don't put that on your hot dog.
Or, if you've ever taken a walk through the grass and actually watched a grass seed yeet itself an entire foot just to stick to your leg.
Or you've watched somebody walk into a cholla.
Those plants were made by the devil. I am convinced.
You only walk into a cholla once.
And you
See,
come back
you
with a
say that.
flamethrower. You ever wonder? See, I understand people starting wildfires in Arizona. I'm just saying. It's not because they're, anarchists. It's probably because they walked into a fucking cholla and they're pissed.
Sometimes
like
they
killing
walk.
with fire.
But
But
what is it? Sometimes you don't walk into the cholla, somebody else does, and a spiky bit that was meant for you or meant for them finds you.
yeah, that's true also. But there's also
Ugh.
something they call it a dynamite tree, where basically the seed thing explodes.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh.
I remember reading about those. Also, tumbleweeds would probably take great advantage of any sort of flammable environments because they become extremely flammable and brittle once they die, and they have cranked thorniness up to 11, so they stick to each other.
And yeah, they just kind of tumble across. And I
Mhm.
could imagine something like that using heat to germinate its seeds, like a lot of the stuff actually right where I live does, like fireweed, giant sequoia, and stuff.
Fucking, I
Where
imagine they have regular ass pine trees though, but anywhere the flame touch, it's just straight tar.
just like
Like
They call 'em-
actual pine tar, just like because they're designed for fire.
It's like 90% of the bottom part of the tree, like 30 feet up, is just all tar. No
And then
branch, only tar.
Major
then
export of the planet, natural
eucalyptus
tar.
trees, which are they're I guess super flammable by their own design in order to like spread their seeds and germinate things and all that. I'm not sure exactly why eucalyptus trees are super flammable, but
Eucalyptus trees are. They're a tree. God damn it.
some of them
Yes,
look really cool looking.
they are in fact a tree.
They are in
They
fact
smell-
classified under tree.
They do smell nice too.
Anyway,
Oddly enough, they do. But the juice they make meant to kill you.
Do
Yeah,
not drink.
do not drink. That
I
that
mean,
is
or
bone
do.
hurty juice.
God damn it. Tangent. Oh.
but yeah, I can imagine it's got a really weird ecosystem.
I think Zitrons would be like a lot of cactuses, and then when you get to the oasis, it's like those bizarre, otherworldly desert like vegetation that have like cross pollinated to hell because that's how they survive.
Oh, like that one plant from like the Cretaceous era where it's literally just two leaves and a really short like actual stalk, and then the root digs like a mile into the ground.
Yeah. And like it stores up to like 30 gallons of water.
Yeah.
And that's after it's had its fill. Yeah. Like that desert lotus that was said to grow by oases.
Now that's a weird one. Anytime I've had a lotus in the house, it needed like super specific situations to even bloom, let alone stay alive. And this thing's just out there in the desert chilling.
Yeah, remember, the Indians are where we get most of our lotuses from. And a lot of deserts out there.
And
Yeah.
they got orchids, which are plants that grow up in trees.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
god. Yeah. Air plants.
Lots of weird stuff everywhere. Anyway, it's like world building going on in the back of my mind here.
It's good world building. It's getting you ready for the task at hand. And of course, the turtle is, you know, making notes of the conversation that the players are having.
That's not a screenshot.
I don't know why it sounded like a screenshot.
Stop
It's not.
screenshotting things. That's illegal.
I'm
You'll
not.
make the
That's
NFT havers mad.
What is that? What are you?
Action replay?
Hold on. That is a good. That is a googe. There's a aquatic creature of some kind. It's basically a hyper evolved sea monkey.
Ah,
Are you talking about a tardigrade?
No.
no.
I'm not really playing, but I'm like micromanaging my automatic murder or diplomatic murder machine in the background. Because it's a space game, so I figured, man, let's keep me on space. This is why I've been racking my brain about the possibility of somehow getting Zitrone in command of a mega structure.
I mean, you got the station back there. That's a megastructure.
Yeah, no. Okay, I want like an Alderson disc though.
Oh, that kind of. Okay.
It's a little bit of a problem
That's a
though.
bit of a jump in scale there.
Or like a Dyson ring or whatever.
Okay. Well, if
Wake up.
you guys don't have anything else that you want to do on the trip there, we can go ahead and jump to landing sequence.
I will allow this.
That sounds good to me. I will do a quick BRB.
Alright, let us know when you're back.
Alright, I will unmute when I get back.
Raven, what about you? Are you just gonna practice flying the whole trip?
Not a bad idea. A bird that can fly. Much
I'm
use.
sorry, I was muted in putting together a protein shake.
Oh, yum.
Bird is going to see about darting to and fro, looking for things that should be stowed before landing. Nothing quite like getting decapitated by a ski boot for hitting the brakes too hard.
Rip Mark's character. That man was the best person to have to fight things, but the worst person to have if you didn't want your damage to suddenly die. Straight up died of an STD in a game once. One of those. Well, you're the one who wanted to have sex with the literal 2,000-year-old demon. And
That
Anthony
Dusty
made
was
it
good,
in.
though.
It was. He had no complaints.
Look, these are just the things that happen when you have sex with a dragon of a certain persuasion. So you're saying I'm a zombie now?
Hey, that happened to me, and don't call me out on having happened that. I was a little plague dragon creature. I once was a human, but now I have ascended or descended, depending on your morality.
But sorry, I was muted again. We're just going, like I said, strapping things down, making sure things are good,
Yeah.
and what is it? They were going to outfit themselves properly with their gladius and such in a sling, like getting ready for it, because they don't know. Last time they did any sort of honest to god flying was on their planet. And if you fly below a certain altitude, not only is it dangerous for breathing and crushing, but also because fucking murder fungus.
Yeah, so you're getting yourself all prepared. Zitrune probably has the Medibot strapped in.
Yes, he does.
What's Zitrune gonna equip themselves with?
They didn't have time to purchase it at the station because they were working on the flamethrower. So they're gonna keep using their trusty Chris knife, but they're definitely taking their sprayer.
Alright.
Back, you horny fiend! Go do stuff over there.
Spritz, spritz. Oh no, it's worse.
I maintain if you thin it with an ethanol base, you could also light it on fire.
It is thinned with an ethanol base.
Exactly. Throw a lighter at them. Let your passion burn with the flame of 1,000 suns.
And the dingus is back.
Let's see. These are just labeled background noise. What does this say?
Okay, BRB complete.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Hi.
How do
Yeah.
you think that Vivian would have wanted to know get to know Raven a little bit better?
Yeah, just ask
Oh,
questions.
drink it in.
Bird's flighty, so
Well, I think she would have asked him about his home and about his family a little bit. Just kind of see where he came from, that sort of thing. Maybe asked him a little bit about his past.
Oh, middle age, or what is it? Like, closest thing you can say would be middle class working family. What between cleaning up crime scenes and disposing of undesirables for the guild.
See.
Ah, yes. They run on a they're
Cat.
the way I had it set up was they run. I think a dichotomy is the correct way to describe it. They have two ruling classes: the, everyone on the up and up, and everyone else that gets the work done. I'll look at it again. I know I sent it to Dark, but I can't remember because I.
Oh, fuck. I haven't gotten a message from you in forever. It's probably the last thing you sent me.
It actually was not. That was not the last thing I sent.
Oh, no, the last thing you sent me was something that I sent to a search bot so I could find the artist.
Yes.
So let's see. Guilds. Mercantile Guild being the most powerful. Over the table service. Fixers Guild, less than reputable. Pharmaceuticals, cyber mods, mercenary work, exotic meats.
Exotic butters.
Possibly exotic butters.
Good.
Ah, yes, trees on a gas giant, because why not? It's only a micro gas.
Bruh. We
You
get
know,
you
I
on a
could
gas giant.
working. There's like they have like this sack or whatever that could be buoyant and make them hover at exactly the right altitude to get the nutrients and stuff they need.
Oh yeah, a
Oh,
gas giant has an entirely different ecology. Because a lot of the nutrients are just going to be airborne.
being there's also subterranean carnivorous leeches and funguses.
Fungi.
That
Yeah, can't forget about the dangerous things, yes.
would also say something similar to there being a ground. What is it? A ground ecology. It'd be a really fucking weird one considering the pressures usually that result in a gas giant.
Well, a planet with the right conditions could be around the size of Earth and be a gas giant. Just look at Venus.
True.
It's just getting conditions like that are actually survivable is the hard part. You got to be exactly the right distance from the local star. It's got to have exactly the right amount of magnetic field. Uh, it's got to have some sort of liquid basic building block for uh, biological function.
Yeah. Oh,
So you know that well, it used to be considered an asteroid for a while, but it's a dwarf planet. It's called Ceres in the asteroid belt.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cirrus, yeah.
They they say that that actually has more water than Earth.
Hmm.
Yep.
Eris is a gigantic ball of ice, basically.
Yep, with apparently like two liquid oceans somewhere beneath the surface.
You know what else has a shitload of liquid beneath the frozen surface?
Europa.
Yeah. Pretty arrogant name. Discovered by a bunch of Europeans.
I would also like to point out that Venus is more survivable than Mars. Apparently, I'm still not sure about that.
It's like, I'm not sure about that, but
Well, it actually has
it's,
an atmosphere, unlike Mars, whose core
um,
has like solidified.
yeah, basically, Mars doesn't really have a magnetic field that'll keep the radiation and stuff out, and most of its atmosphere got blasted away.
Yeah, you'd basically have to either create an artificial magnetosphere or pump so much goddamn atmosphere into the atmosphere that it outpaces being blasted away by solar flares.
This is
Ooh,
why I think it's totally okay to strip mine it for a Dyson Swarm.
what if you burrowed into the planet and then planted a chain of nukes around its core and detonated them at the right time to spin the core back up?
That's not really how that works.
I know. It was also part of the script to a somewhat kind of not terrible but really not that good movie.
Like, probably the easiest way to give Mars a magnetosphere again is to hit it with another, like,
Drop a moon
probably
on it.
its own moons, realistically. Like,
Drop Phobos' iron ass on it.
yeah, just grab Phobos, put some thrusters on it, launch it around the nearest planet whenever it passes by, probably Earth, and then send it on a trajectory that's going to smack it in just the right way to start it spinning, but not throw it completely out of the solar system.
Oh yeah, the dervish method.
Yeah,
I've seen that. It's really fucking cool.
it's a good idea, but man, would that be a risky endeavor.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Isn't
we're
Phobos
just going
like
to fire this
90%?
thing toward Earth. Why?
No, don't worry. We're giving Mars a moon the size of ours. What? In the same way,
See,
too.
it's a great idea, but all it takes is one stray space goose hitting it, and then it's coming right for us.
No, we're
You gotta
just
be
going to
careful,
give Olympus
Scruces.
Maz a little trim off the top, It already extends out into space anyway.
Well, that's like not gonna use that example. That's like saying you have big pecs when you're fat.
I mean, yeah. My nipples
When
blue.
space is closer to fucking the planet, then yeah, when space is closer than it should be, that's hardly a feat.
I mean, Olympus Mons is also taller than Everest, so,
That is a pretty big mountain.
it's probably
Yep.
formed
And
by
it's
an asteroid.
actually, it was a volcano.
It is a volcano itself, but there's an impact site, like, directly across from it on the planet.
Oh, so it's like one of those or one of those Super Mario Galaxy fucking things, or like you jump on the other side of the planet to drive a spike into Bowser's ass, right?
So, anyways, the captain warns everyone that they'll be dropping out of warp soon. Presumably everyone straps in.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. So everyone's up in the pilot not the pilot, the navigation deck. That's what it is. As you drop out of C plus into sublight and then down into real space. And you drop out a couple of light years. Let's see. You drop out
Light
of.
years.
Don't interrupt you, and I'm doing hard math. Okay,
I'm sorry.
you drop out tangential to the orientation of the planetary system.
Okay.
That is at sublight speed once you're entering into the Oort cloud, because it is illegal to do faster than light speed velocities within a planetary system. It takes 15 to 20 minutes to actually drop down to where the planet you're going to is. And then you drop into real space, about a 15-minute trip to the atmosphere. And, it's a pretty quiet endeavor the whole way, besides the ambient sounds of the life support system and the controlled burns that the captain is doing to orient the ship and get it facing the right way. And this is about how long it takes to get down to the surface once he's located a suitable landing spot.
Ooh, what are that means? That one of the burns.
Or Vivian, I bet you would really like it out there right now.
That might be a bit much even for me.
Ah, nah, nonsense. You're tough.
But it is nice and cozy in here.
I hear that ionizing hellstorms on the outside of reentry vessels can ablate ceramics.
I certainly wouldn't want to try a re-entry on my own. That would be terrifying.
No, it's the reentry isn't what gets you at that point. It'd definitely be the fall.
Would be the landing, yeah.
Well, speaking of landing, we're here. Welcome to paradise.
Oh,
Mm,
Now, what's that I'm hearing? Is it... What's that called? Rain?
Yeah, it looks like we've got some... Let's see, what is this? If the local wildlife would kindly shut the fuck up. Let's see. So the rain outside is currently sitting around 4.8 on the pH scale. So that's, that's not gonna hurt you too much.
Somewhat acidic, but not terrible.
Yep. So if you guys wanted to head out and collect some fresh water for the engines or set up some tents and get things started, you could go ahead and do that, or we could wait until it passes. I'm switching off of the reactors right now, and we're gonna go off of the batteries for a bit.
good for me. Didn't even wait. He was outside because of rain.
It's like, yeah, it's rain.
They are rare on his planet.
I don't think they'd be very common on Vivian's either. It probably happens, but who knows?
didn't he say the rain was spicy?
A little bit.
Yeah, just take a shower when you get back. The Creation Engine VI will give you a rinse down with the opposite acidity, and you'll be good as new. As long as you didn't spend too long out there.
Just making 40-minute intervals get through. That's what you do.
So Vivian's going to hesitate a little bit, but then she's going to eventually go out into it.
Alright,
It's a little
so
bit
Vivian and Zitroon step onto the vehicle lift and hit the button to go down, and peering out from the cover of the ship, let me switch to...
And what's the gravity like on this planet? Is it just pretty much normal?
The gravity on this planet is sitting around... let's see, it's sitting at 1.8 meters per second per second. So it's a little lighter than, Earth.
Actually, isn't that a lot lighter?
Earth is
Yeah.
like 9 point something, I thought.
Yeah, I thought Earth was 9.8 meters per second.
Hey, moon jumping cat. This is going to be entertaining.
She goes to take a step and thonk hits her head on the ship.
Moon jump bird. Moon jump Zitroon. Oh, that's kind of perfect for him. It'll help him, set things up. Captain said set up tents and those things to take the thingies that do the space math.
Yeah. Alright, let me give you outside. There you go. Because you are on a beach.
We're just gonna bonsai down the vehicle elevator or the vehicle lift shaft. Just, hey!
I can just imagine him just kind of floating down slowly, and hitting the ground and doing.
Oh, this is. Oh no, my shield's gonna melt. He'll unclip and yeah, yeet that bitch back up into the ship. That'll be good there.
Vivian is not gonna risk ruining her fancy clothes like this.
I learned a thing or two about stuff from Mary, so I know how to use this button.
Zitroon is using knowledge from Mary's tablet on how to operate information panels. Basically, he understands the layout now, so he can kind of guess what something means. Doesn't know what some of the words are, but he knows how to get to those pages.
Fair enough.
Would Vivian understand these words? I assume she would.
Vivian probably has some, what is it?
I imagine
Teaching.
she's got a significant amount of schooling.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Schooling on how the different languages operate. I actually forget, Zitroon, is that in, Standard, or is that in Terran?
It is the thing that he's assuming that the things that the captain have him, setting up for this are in standard.
Oh, the tents. Yes, they're gonna be in Galactic Standard.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, she could definitely read that.
Yep.
Like if she trained to be a firefighter or a cop and a medical responder, I'm sure she'd have learned at least that.
Yeah, if you trained to be a medical responder and especially a police officer, they would have taught you Galactic Standard and a couple of species languages, like by rote. So you could speak to other languages without a translator if it ever, got EMP'd or something.
Yeah, I think her first attempt was firefighter, but that didn't seem like a right fit. So then she went to medical training responder. That wasn't a good fit, so she tried to be a cop. Then that also was not a good fit. So now she's an adventurer.
Alright,
What?
it doesn't take too long to set up the tent between you guys. It's more of an awning. It kind of clips into a couple of sockets on the outside of the hull, and you turn a crank and it kind of ratchets itself outwards, giving you another 50 or so feet out from the ship and about 100-foot span. And
Yeah, I
there's a few
imagine
of
that
these
was
that you
really
could set
fast
up.
to set up. Because even if you're like setting up an RV and stuff, that doesn't take all that long. So it's kind of same idea, I think.
Yeah. And, there's points for these things all along the hull. You could set up as many as you need. The hull itself provides some amount of protection from the elements, because it is, like, up off of the ground on these, like, almost caterpillar-like legs.
Alright, be right back. Also, because of this rain, Vivian has her fur down flat, so it just kind of repels it.
Alright.
I don't need that on my skin.
Ah.
So she probably
Bird.
looks really cool. Anyway, be right back. I'm gonna get a drink. Because I'm thirsty.
Yeah,
Bird
alright.
has realized something. Flying into acidic rain is going to be uncomfortable. They have since yorted themselves back up the lift chute and are going to print themselves some goggles.
Alright, let's see. So besides raining, let's see what the ambient temperature is. The ambient temperature is hovering around 48 degrees.
Ooh, that's chippy.
It is raining currently.
Let me check something here.
Yeah.
Not exactly that. Oh, wow. Okay, so this is not even as acidic as vinegar.
Yeah, if you can,
It's closer to water than it is to vinegar.
yeah. Acid rain, even on Earth, isn't all that acidic. It's,
Yeah, it's pretty mild. It's just
yeah.
a little bit damaging to stuff. And then over time, uh, it does have an effect. But
Hmm.
anyway, so it's sour rain.
Yeah. So, besides spooking some of the local wildlife and at least confirming that there is complex life on the planet with audio cues, you guys managed to set up some awnings on the beach. Uh, Maybe go check out the scorch marks that the ship made in the sand.
A new kind of glass.
Maybe. Never know. Fastest way to get a material sample is to just pick up a big old chunk and toss it in the creation engine.
Yep, exactly what I was thinking.
Oh no, Bird Shiny's instinct has kicked in. They're coming back down with their little flying goggles and just darting to and fro and just throwing stuff in the creation engine. Analyze this.
This
Analyze that.
and
Oh,
this.
more of this.
No, I meant maybe he prints himself out a little basket or a box or something to put stuff in.
No, nature overwhelms one at a time.
He's like, as much as he can carry at a time, and then back and forth.
Hmm.
This.
It's very small handful or handfuls, just back and forth through the air. Just oh, it's like, huh? Well, oh no, he's gonna get yelled at by the
Take a
VI.
little bit to get used to that low gravity. You said it's 1.8.
Yeah.
So let me see.
That's basically non-existent.
It's a pretty small planet, yeah. It
It's 3 times the gravity of Pluto.
mhm. And Pluto has an atmosphere.
Yeah,
And it's still not considered a planet. That's just sad. Unless you're not Pokemon, you can eat it.
um,
And as you guys are chilling out and the rain is starting to, dissipate a little bit as I lower the volume on it.
Obviously.
Through the clouds, you can see just this absolutely massive planet rising up on the horizon.
Ooh.
The captain has apparently landed you on a moon.
Neato. Anyway, hold on. Zitrun goes inside and does something he should have done a while ago. Prints camera.
It's about to, we need the
Snaps
camera.
the picture. Neat.
I think at this
With a
point,
little neck strap.
ooh, shiny thing going on. Every single one of them. Vivian likes the view of the planet, I think.
I don't think Bird
Hey.
has noticed. Bird is probably just like clambered onto Zitron's back. Come on, 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 come on.
Yeah, what is it?
As soon as it's printed out, yeets a chunk of something into the creation engine. It's analyzed and then darts back out the ship.
Zitrun, being responsible, will make sure he's got his notepad and then gonna open up the creation engine's little list there and get a fucking list of everything it's analyzed.
So, not get duplicates and stuff.
All right.
Like,
So the creation engine can't exactly categorize the things that you're throwing into it unless it's already part of a list. So you would have to name the things that you're putting into it. But what it can print out is the basic elements of what it's decompressing.
Oh, okay.
So it can do basically a mass spectrometer type thing.
Yeah.
Only it keeps the stuff that it takes apart.
Don't overclock it.
Well, if the word I used to describe the process didn't tip you off, it is kind of disassembling the things that you're giving it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a nano forge.
Definitely expected that one. Things being torn apart is like, this is everything that was in it. I know because I opened it up.
So this is slightly more gravity than Europa. And it's almost an exact match for Io.
Hey, you found the planet I based it on. It's basically Io, but like Mars is green, and Io has, liquid water on it, and, it's the right distance from the local star to get heated up enough on the hot side of the planet to stay liquid and, not freeze completely on the cold side.
So it
Which,
is right within that perfect Goldilocks zone and oriented just right.
and the reason it's so goddamn cold is because you're dropping into the shadow of the planet now.
I see.
After a while of, the burb going up and down and putting things into the creation engine, the turtle will ride the lift down, kind of look around at the area. Well, it's good to see that the initial scans were correct. There does appear to be multicellular life on this planet. Though I'm not sure I would call it a planet per se.
Planet Pet. Planet Pet.
I suppose technically it is a moon.
Mm.
Well, you could maybe call it a planetoid. I'm not sure if that's the
Perhaps.
right term.
He'll kind of scratch at his chin slowly. Until somebody can come along and take some better measurements of its overall mass, I suppose we shall refer to it as the satellite.
Just Bird comes bounding back. Hey, what happens if we throw a live species in here until it's analyzed?
It'll probably kill it.
It would certainly destroy it, yes. The
Indeed.
creation engine is not able to tell if you put something alive into it, and the VI is the only reason that you all have been able to survive showering.
Oh, that's sobering. Starts right back out the out the vehicle bay. I don't get more rocks.
You off he goes.
Well, it's certainly heartwarming to see one so eager for the aspect of prospecting such as this.
Eh.
It would appear as though the temperatures are going to continue to plummet until we're on the other side of the local planet. That, and he'll point at the, rising planet on the horizon, I would certainly classify as a planet.
Yeah, that looks certainly pretty big.
And they'll kind of squint as they're looking at it. Another time. I start looking around on the beach, particularly at the shoreline. What is Kato doing now that the rain has let up?
Well, I think she would assist in getting samples of stuff, and instead of just pitching it in the engine, she would, tell it what it is, like sample of such and such.
Alright. So, what
And
are you going to look for? I know Raven's looking for shiny things.
she is
Nice.
going to basically like collect things such as grasses and plants and stuff.
Alright. So, let's see. There's a few things along the shoreline. There's an almost coral looking growth of some kind with a yellow hue to it with streaks of purple. And you expect it to be stiff when you approach it and, poke at it, but it's about as firm as you would expect a blade of grass to be, and it almost ripples when you, move it.
So she's going to look at that and she's like, I should take notes.
Oh God. I rolled for it, and Raven has pounced a smaller creature that he saw running along the beach. Get back here!
Oh no, don't pounce on the beetle crickets. They're so cute though. They just want to be underground.
Well, this one is gonna get looked at. You just see Raven bouncing back, just like literally jumping. Got a bug! I think it's a bug.
Alright,
Looks like a bug.
so let's see. Yeah, fuck it. I'll just base it on an actual creature. So you pick it up and bring it over. And as you're holding it in your claws, I guess, pressed together, it's kind of skittering around and digging at the plates of your scaled fingers. And it seems to very much not like being out in the light. It looks like if you took a pretty basic beetle front half, but then instead of a thorax, you had a cricket like bottom assembly.
Kind of sounds like a leaf hopper.
Kind of. It's like an actual creature on the planet. I don't remember the actual name for it, but I can send you a video of it in shitposting. They're
Okay.
absolutely harmless.
They're doing its best to not be outside. Just
Yeah.
meow.
Let's see.
The Raven or Burb brings back the brings back the bricket. Yes, the bricket.
The bricket. Because they are burb, they would pronounce it that way. The bricket.
The bricket. Kind of thing. It's all skittery.
Ah, excellent find. Would appear to be a sort of subterranean insectoid species. Hardy exoskeleton. Excellent mandibles.
I don't think it knows how to use them. It hasn't bitten me yet. Then again, I'm not taking any chances here.
Oh no, it's tried to bite you. It's just, it really doesn't have the biting force.
I was just, nope, not happening. Oh, wait, you said subterranean. Did Bird like kind of lightly plop it on the ground? Do the thing.
Almost as soon as it touches the ground, it begins to skitter its legs and head side to side, and it's gone, like, within seconds.
That's actually impressive.
I imagine things on this planet are super weak compared to us. Ah, interesting.
Yeah. Let's see, what is it actually called? Mole cricket.
Huh.
Oh, those things.
They're
They're an
from
ugly
the
kind of cute.
arthropoda, or wait, Orthroptera.
Or you're
Yeah, Orthroptera.
Orthroptera.
Yeah, I've never actually read that order before.
It's one of those. Wait, is this actually a science website? Wait a minute.
This is Wikipedia, I think.
Hmm.
Okay, so an order of insects, grasshoppers, locusts, crickets, closely related, such as bush crickets, katydids, weta?
yeah, Weta, which is kind of like a big grasshopper looking thing.
Yeah, but they have the two lines over the two different letters, so I'm like, wait, so long, we, te? Is that what the line means?
I've always heard it pronounced as Weta.
Yeah. English is hard.
And it's like, what language did you steal that from?
English is hard when it uses Latin as part of itself. Yeah.
So yeah, that's the first multicellular creature you found. What is Zichern up to?
He's wondering if he can have the creation engine make some sort of scanner.
I was actually thinking the same sort of thing, like a tablet scanner.
Yeah, that he can use to scan stuff. And get
Yeah.
knowledge.
Photograph, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So
Or
you've got a
maybe
camera. The
yeah.
creation engine can print out a sort of pistol-shaped device with a laser on the end of it that you can point at things, and based on the way that the light refracts back at the sensor, it's able to tell what the surface material is composed of. There is also another pistol-shaped device with a sort of arrangement of 3 needles pressed together on the front that you can jab into something to take a deeper sample.
Yep, we need that one.
There's, of course, the sample files with the cork stoppers and the rubber stopper variant and the screw-on top variant. There are sample bags in a variety all the way from dime bag up to this is basically a garbage bag. Ziploc seal, of course.
The best kind of seal.
Yep.
It's actually pretty good.
That's pretty good. Who'd have thunk dovetail plastic would work so well?
Hmm.
That's what. Yeah, that's the only thing we need to use. We need to use it. Don't get mad. Get glad.
Let's see. There is a small garden spade that you can use for excavating surface materials, trowel for breaking up roots and stuff. There is the long spade, which is essentially if you took a regular shovel and clicked on the spade portion of it and just Z extended it a good 2 feet. Some people call them post hole diggers, but no, that's when you take 2 of those and bolt them together.
It's a trench shovel.
Mhm. Yeah, I think we actually have one.
Yeah,
Root snipper. I don't know.
the flat spade.
Blade.
Let's see. Oh, right. There is the trank gun, but you would have to get a sample from a species before you could figure out what sort of chemicals you're going to need to neutralize it.
Allow bird to procure species.
The bird returns with additional bird in tow. Other bird is freaking the fuck out.
You, less advanced bird, come with more advanced bird. We wish to procure samples.
Just yorp it into the fucking creation engine. Scan that. Straw!
We're getting the
Knowledge.
sticker one. And maybe the less intrusive scanner gun. Let's say.
Yeah, I mean, it's a laser. It's good for getting results from a distance.
Exactly.
Mm,
Have both of them. That way he can scan a lot. Rocks and water and leaves and sand.
So
Maybe.
you got your long range sniper scanner and you got your close range melee scanner.
Yep.
And let's see. There is a handheld tool that sort of looks like a caliper that forms a ball of plasma that you're able to hold towards a mineral deposit and collect it very cleanly by slicing through it, like one of those hot cords that you use on styrofoam.
Yeah. Those are awesome. We
Uh,
need that.
yeah, you just pull on the trigger and the ball of plasma like stretches out real thin.
Perfect. We need that. We're taking that. Also. More knowledge.
Knowledge. Let's see. Last thing would be a liquid sample analyzer, but you probably have a long time to figure that out, and the VI for the ship has been analyzing the rain that it's collected through the um, actual like collection channels that are built into the top portions of the ship hull. Because, you know, what's better fuel than oxygen and hydrogen?
Pretty much, you can use them. You can use them to uh, make a fuel cell, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Alright. Did it just stop? Oh, it got to the end of the loop. I just noticed that it kind of cuts out before it loops back.
Hey, did you know that it cuts out farther back?
Nah, thanks for notifying me. I'll fix that.
I got you. Don't worry.
Well, yeah, Zitrune has printed out all the things for themselves. And,
Yep.
I believe you said that Vivian was gonna print themselves something after... did they collect the weird spongy thing?
She did not collect that yet. She was going to scan it, analyze it, and take some notes
Okay.
before getting a small sample of it. I imagine a lot of the life on this planet, or moon specifically, is not nearly as sturdy as our characters because of the super low gravity and not really needing the strength
The
and all
gravity
that.
disparity is certainly there. I think the strongest thing that you're gonna encounter on this planet would be the subterranean species. Because it has to kind of like, dig through Earth.
It's
Yeah,
strong because it has games.
but even so, it's not going to have to work as hard as if it were on a higher gravity world where the dirt itself would weigh more.
The dirt would also be more compacted together.
Yeah, so it's not nearly as, well, like you said, compact or heavy or anything like that.
Let's see.
I imagine if they were on a world with this particular moon's uh, density of soil and stuff, but with regular gravity, they'd probably just like sink up to their waist because it would just be like super loose.
Just welcome to Quicksand, the planet.
Well,
It'd be like walking on styrofoam peanuts.
Oh god.
Squeak, 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 snap.
This looks like a nice open field. Let's go frolicking through the grass. Immediately
Whee!
falls into the fucking candy cane style grass. No, no.
I can't stand up. It's like Velcro to my skin. Oh god.
Help.
I would.
I mean, it could be like that razor glass from Neon Flux.
It could be like that, but why would you do that?
I don't know. That seemed particularly sadistic to me. Yes, I guess that makes sense considering it was like a security thing, but still.
I'm good at disappearing.
I got that monkey foot lady pretty good.
It did?
Yeah, it shook her right in the feet. The hand feet.
Just took them right out.
It was bad. But could have picked something better. Could have picked, boots.
Boots would have been a more sensible option.
Again, bro.
Ooh, so have you ever had the reason to deal with ion exchange resin? Those little tiny beads?
I don't think so.
Well, this stuff in the back, I have reason to deal with it. I'm doing water treatment at work. And the bag itself, these heavy duty sealed, zip tied, and bagged and double bagged and pouched containers have a slip hazard and fall hazard warning on them. If
Probably
spilled, just the long and short is, it was saying just abandon this room. You're never going to clean it all up, and it's always going to be slipperier than ice.
It was
Because it's a
basically
bunch of
stand on
yes, little
miniature
humans.
ball bearings.
Pretty much. Like, you could try to clean it all up. You'd be there for a while, though. I think it's all like statically clung to like the ground too. So if you tried to use a vacuum cleaner, even that wouldn't work.
Sounds like that time they accidentally spilled a 55-gallon drum of BD lube at the facilities.
Oh god, they'd never clean that up.
They managed to clean it up. The intern that spilled it over was there for about 4 hours cleaning it up.
Oh,
With the help of some other people, because they couldn't pour dildos while, the floor was covered in lube.
I mean, you could.
No, you can't.
No, that stuff is dangerous.
I hear you, kitty cat. She's funny. Well, are you gonna come over here for pets or what?
Oh,
You're just gonna ignore me?
it's like, you paid me attention. That's all I wanted. Now screw away.
She was carrying a toy and hollering.
Mom, play with me. No, go away, Mom.
Fucking cat, I swear.
Fucking cats. They can literally walk up to a house, be like, I live here now, and people are just like, oh, okay, I guess you live here now.
That's how our cat was. I mean, to be fair, she started killing rats constantly, so she earned her keep when, there was a rat as big as a fucking dog's head just dead in the kitchen floor, and she was just sleeping on the couch.
It's like, Jesus.
She fucking got it, broke its fucking neck open, drug it out of the pantry, and left it there. Didn't even eat it, just left it.
It's like, I have to prove myself. And besides, gut piles are obnoxious for the humans to clean up.
Like less for us. I think it was more of like a fucking message to the other rats. All right, let's see. Time to scan the sand, the water, me.
Alright, so let's see. You scan the sand. It appears to be mostly silica. It's got some, let's see. It's got a little bit of iron in it. What's bone made of again?
Calcium?
Calcium, yeah. It's got calcium in it.
The fact that you asked bones.
It's because shells are made of something very similar.
Yeah,
Oh,
It's
yeah,
not
that's
the
fair.
exact same structure, but it is. You can get calcium out of it.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's what you get, like coral and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I rolled 4 times in a row, and they all made it over like 35, which is what I was rolling for. Bird comes back with one of the beetle creatures that they were actually able to dig out of the ground quickly enough. Jitron, scan this.
Zitrone will scan it.
Alright,
I imagine it makes like the self checkout just boop noise.
Imagine
love
that too.
It does in fact beep when it's when you pull the trigger and it's actually pointed at something within range. Let's see. What? I'm actually gonna look this up because I'm curious now. Because I know what some beetle shells are made of, like you can use them to make shellac, but
Keratin and stuff also.
that's not how you spell
Typically
beetle.
keratin.
How? Fingers, can you cooperate?
No, that would require actually doing what you want them to.
Let's see. Kitten, fibrous material derived from glucose and protein matrix. Yep.
It's incredibly durable, lightweight, and thermally conductive.
It is, yes. Let's see. So that's what you get from the initial scan. And let's see, there's another item listed here. Where is it? Ah, yes. It also has sporopollenin.
What that?
It's only the strongest fucking biologically created material on the planet.
Oh,
And, it's commonly found as the structure for pollen.
everything?
Yeah, really.
Huh.
Sporopollenin is, like, really good. That's some good shit right there.
Oh,
Honk.
I was
Okay.
scratching my chin and then brought my hand back down and caught my desk.
Bump.
Did you release it?
You
Gotta
have a
catch and
tag
release,
for it.
man. Oh, you know, those desks get pretty big, I understand, but, like, you know, you gotta let them get that big if you're gonna feed a family.
True.
God, damn it.
Man.
Oh, jeez. Raven.
Hmm.
They kind of just eats it over his shoulder, just kind of a, eh,
Scans Raven.
eh.
Alright, beak materials.
Isn't beak made of like keratin and stuff like fingernails?
It is. It is
Uh,
mostly keratin.
yes, it is mostly keratin. Same as feathers, hair, fingernails. It also gives their beak a glossy appearance.
Feathers are just advanced hair.
Specialty hair.
It really is. It's hair plus.
Yep,
Hair too.
hair that had more time to evolve.
Didn't feathers come first, though?
No, I don't think so.
I
No?
don't
Have
think
I
so
ever...
either.
Oh, I'm thinking of scales.
Yeah, scales I'm pretty sure came first.
Yeah.
And I guess the T-Rex had scales because somebody came across an imprint of T-Rex skin and it was scaly.
Ah! I think it was actually fossilized skin, which is insanely rare.
Yeah, it was something like that.
So it's one of those stupid feathered dinosaurs. No! They were
No,
lizards.
we are definitely finding out that they are more scaly than lizards or scaly lizards than burbs.
As it should.
I could
Some
see
dinosaurs had
raptors
feathers, some of them
being
were
feathered,
scaly. It's okay.
but I think a lot of them were just scaly.
We still have no idea what the crest on a Triceratops was really looked like.
True.
I mean, have you seen what a hippo skull looks like compared to the creature? It's looks nothing like a hippo. Okay, so Raven has lost interest in the small cricket
Like skin complete yeet.
yort.
Over his shoulder, just.
The turtle will bring over a tube-like shelled creature, and the tube is twisting in a sort of helix fashion. I
Oh,
found a bottom feeder.
Oh,
he used to
Raise
have.
the camera. Neat.
I think I have a shell like that in my random collection of stuff.
Of course you do. Somehow I expected you to have a shell collection.
I've got a collection of like rocks and shells. It's very small though, but it's got some really unusual stuff in it. Including a big old hunk of obsidian.
Zitrun, if you'd be so kind, could you scan this?
And
Scan. Alright.
Yeah, Vivian's also going around scanning everything. Like, just kind of observing, taking pictures, prodding.
Careful what you prod.
Yeah, she's being very careful.
Just because the scanner tells you what it's made of doesn't mean it's dangerous.
Bird will return momentarily. Just assume that they're out trying to catch a little bit more complicated thing than a beetle.
I mean, this is pretty much the end of the session. I don't really want to progress any further until we have the other two party members here.
It makes sense.
This is fair.
no, that's good. Then it's time to spray Raven.
Bird is not in the vicinity.
Bird has
Hey, Vivian.
flitted off into the forest once more.
No, no spray. Not yet.
Bird will return momentarily.
So, let's see. You get a surface scan. You get a scan of a little creature, like inside of the shell. The turtle takes the needle probe and gets a more invasive, like, sample. And then just kind of casually tosses it back out to the waters. Many things to see, so many things to scan. So, gonna
I
go
got
ahead and call it.
all that for the little Citron. He's gonna do a bunch of scans and probably go into the woods next session. Scan
Maybe
everything.
scan things, climb
Yeah,
things,
like
and other
kind of
things.
like some wildlife, because get a big old compendium going to show that he was actually trying to help. Just to check on the ecology, then birds must be scanned and trees must be inspected.
Yes.
Trees must be scanned and birds must be inspected.
So yes, Vivian. By the way, I think I mentioned this. Vivian is doing this without her clothes. Because she doesn't want to wreck them.
Obviously, yes.
It's understandable.
Although, considering that the rain is barely acidic, she could probably wear clothes anyway. But whatever, it should stay drier this way.
You would stay drier overall this way, yeah. You wouldn't have sopping wet clothing, like, clinging to you.
Mm-hmm.
Ow. Now
Oh,
you go make
no.
some din din.
Alright, you'll go make some din din.